So when we did the public consultation and we did solicited feedback from municipal councils and independent municipal councillors and combined it all, we really selected and chose those things that were fully supported or majority supported by both the public and by elected officials. So don't anticipate they'll be very much controversial here. First, and then I guess I've said it enough times, it's probably not going to be a shock to a single one of you, but we are moving municipal councils, which includes school boards elections, from 3-year terms to 4-year terms. So in the third Monday of October, when councillors and school board trustees seek election, they will be seeking election for a 4-year term. The second change we're making, the rest of these changes, I think you'll be surprised. It seems as though they probably should have already been implemented. But a returning officer had no authority to refuse a candidate's nomination form, even if they didn't have the appropriate number of signatures, the required number of signatures to make the form complete. That's going to be changed. We're simply requiring that the returning officer ensure that the nomination form is complete with all the requisite number of signatures, or the nomination form won't be accepted. We are requiring voter identification for local authority elections. We had both the locally elected councillors and the members of the public say that there should be some sort of form of voter ID if you're not on the elections list. We're going to be working with municipalities on what those forms of ID are going to be. We have a list in the provincial elections on what is acceptable forms of ID, but we do understand some municipalities, larger cities, have things like bus passes, which will have someone's name and identification on it, which we typically wouldn't accept at the provincial level as a form of identification, but we will be working with municipalities to see if it should apply as identification at the local level. We will be requiring potential municipal candidates to register with the municipality to declare their intent to run before they accept any funds. You can raise funds right now without declaring your intent to run, and you do not have to declare all of the finances, file with the finances and make them public until after you file your nomination papers. We believe that's inappropriate, that anyone who intends to run and begins to collect money should have to disclose that information whether they finally file their nomination papers or not. So they will have to sign a form that declares they are intending to run, so that whether or not they do run, any money they collect to support their explorations will have to be declared to the public. We are requiring all surplus municipal campaign funds to be donated to the municipality or a charity of the candidate's choosing if they choose not to run. Now, that can happen after the election, or it can wait until the next election when they finally make up their mind. But once it's determined that they will not be running, they have to donate those funds to a charity or to the municipality. That's not a significant change. That was a requirement before, but it was over $500 that the donation or return to a municipality had to be made. We had a lot of public feedback asking why a candidate would be allowed to keep $500 and not the stuff over. They didn't feel it was appropriate. Any candidate should be able to keep any of the money. It should be donated, so it simply makes the threshold zero. We also are requiring municipal candidates to clear their campaign deficits if they are not running. It seems counterintuitive that that would not have been a requirement before, but it will be a requirement going forward. And we are also making changes to ensure municipal candidates are not eligible to run for an election if they have not met the campaign reporting requirements for the previous election campaign. So if they don't file their papers appropriately and in completion, then they will not be eligible to run, which is the same requirement that we have at the provincial level. And that's it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I would like to note the changes that will be made to campaign finances, specifically the requirement to file a form before you run in the next, when you seek nomination, before you actually file your candidacy paper, so that you'll have to declare any funds that you may raise in exploration will take effect after the next election. It's impossible for us right now to retroactively require people who are exploring to file their candidate papers. So those changes will take place after the next election.